let us know the people behind the Strongmen era. His Excellency, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. President Abdel Fattah Saeed Hussein Khalil el-Sisi served as a mechanized infantry commander and then as Director of Military Intelligence. After the Egyptian Revolution of 2011 and election of Mohamed Morsi to the Egyptian presidency, Sisi was appointed Minister of Defense by Morsi on August 12, 2012, replacing the Mubarak heir Hussein Tantai. Sisi won a second term in office in March 2018 in an election that was widely considered to be lacking in genuine competition. Several credible candidates had been excluded from contention for legal and procedural reasons, leaving Sisi to face a little-known opponent, Moussa Mustafa Moussa, who had been an outspoken supporter of Sisi's until entering the race himself in late January. Sisi's final vote total exceeded 97%, but voter turnout was low, only 41%. His Excellency, Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Viktor Orban has just won another term as Prime Minister while embracing a liberal democracy, a political system with free elections but scant regard for civil liberties. For Orban, the threat comes from Muslim migrants and advocates of liberal Western democracy like Hungarian-born George Soros, who threatened the country's national value. His Excellency, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The Turkey's strongman is no other than their president Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his Justice and Development Party, in power since 2003, have won a passionate following among socially conservative Turks by challenging the dominance of secular elites. Now he is manipulating Turkey's political system to remain in control. A failed military coup in 2016 emboldened Erdogan to suspend the rule of law to target his opponents. He has identified his own set of deep state enemies and has jailed an extraordinary number of journalists. His Excellency, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. While in the Philippines, a rising tide of violent street crime helped elect Rodrigo Duterte, a former mayor who talked more like a mob boss than a president, on his promises to wipe out the drug trade with his own brand of justice. To set the record straight, yes, Duterte won a fair election. So did Viktor Orban, Hungary's self-proclaimed champion of illiberal democracy. Duterte is popular, and so is Vladimir Putin. And according to a 2018 report from Human Rights Watch, many Filipinos see Duterte as a breath of fresh air, a tough-talking, maverick leader who empathizes with the people and gets them like no other. Duterte was the first mind and a president. If you think of it, it does seem odd that in the Republic's 121-year history, nobody from Mindanao rose to the presidency before Duterte, despite Mindanao comprising a quarter of the population and almost a third of the country's land area. His Excellency, President Vladimir Putin. On March 18, 2018, the fourth anniversary of the country's seizure of Crimea, Russian citizens overwhelmingly elected Putin to a fourth presidential term, with 67% of the electorate turning out to award him more than 76% of the vote. The divided opposition stood little chance against the popular leader, his closest competitor notching around 13% of the vote. On July 16, 2018, Putin met with President Trump in Helsinki, Finland, for the first formal talks between the two leaders. According to Russia, topics of the meeting included the ongoing war in Syria and the removal of the concerns about accusations of Russian attempts to influence the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Following April, Putin met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un for the first time. The two leaders discussed the issue of the North Korean laborers in Russia, while Putin also offered support of his counterpart's denuclearization negotiations with the U.S., saying Kim would need security guarantees in exchange for abandoning his nuclear program.